We live in a culture obsessed with the grind. We celebrate the CEOs who sleep for hours a night and the athletes who never leave the gym. But today I want to talk about a different kind of endurance. It is not the kind that wins trophies or makes the cover of Forbes. It's the quiet, relentless, and often invisible labor of love. I want to talk about my parents. Growing up, I didn't always understand the math of our household. I just knew that the front door clicked shut early in the morning and opened again long after the sun went down. Dad, for years you lived between two worlds. You worked two jobs, not because you loved the commute or the hours, but because you loved us. You traded your rest, your hobbies, and your own comfort to ensure that our foundation never shook. You were the silent engine, providing a sense of security that I only realize now, as an adult, was a monumental feat of willpower. And then, Mom, there was you. I have the vivid memories of the house feeling a little quieter in the evenings. You weren't just working, you were growing. I remember the nights you'd come home late, exhausted from a full day of work, followed by hours of school. At the time, I just missed you. But looking back, I see what you were actually doing. You were showing me that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. You were balancing a checkbook in one hand and a textbook in the other, proving that a parent's devotion isn't just about providing for the present, it's about building for a better future. But beyond the hard work and the long hours, there was the real world application of your patience, and nothing tested that patience quite like our family trip to Pennsylvania. I think we all remember the moment things went sideways. We were at one of those massive, sprawling malls, the kinds that feel like it needs its own zip code. One minute I was walking with you, and the next, I was a small, terrified kid lost in a sea of strangers and department store mannequins. I remember that cold spike of adrenaline, that feeling of being completely unearthed. But looking back, what stands out isn't my own fear, it's the way the two of you handled it. Dad, I remember you being the tactical one, retracing steps with a focus that usually only came out when you were fixing something broken. And Mom, I remember the look of pure relief on your face when you finally saw me. Not anger, not frustration at the detour, just that I've got you embrace. That day at the mall was a metaphor of my entire life. There have been plenty of times as I've grown up where I felt lost in a much bigger way. Lost in my career, lost in my decisions, or overwhelmed by the world. But I never stayed lost long because I knew I had two people who would stop at nothing to find me. You didn't just provide for me financially, you provided a North Star. Whether it was a physical mall in Pennsylvania or the metaphorical mall of my early 20s, I always knew exactly where home was because of you two. Those two jobs, Dad, those late night classes, Mom, they weren't just about survival. They were about building a world where I could get lost, knowing that I had the safety net to be found. You worked the double shift so I wouldn't have to live in fear. You went back to school so I would know how to find my way. A parent's love is the ultimate GPS. No matter how far I wander, your sacrifice is the map that brings me back to who I am. Thank you for never stopping the search.